Hello, Times Cryptic, let's go. Hash in bowl on floor. Nope. Given instigation of divorce, could the answer be this? Nope. Biblical character, James authorizes arrests. Yeah, this is Esau. This is a hidden clue. So Esau is a biblical character and arrests is a hidden indicator. So beginning with the E of James, we can read Esau. I moved earth toward heaven to inspire Barcelona ultimately. Did I? Well, Barcelona ultimately looks like a reference to the last letter of Barcelona. And the definition looks like did I. I moved earth towards heaven to inspire. Yeah, this is Gaudi or Gaudi. So I is I, moved earth is dug, toward heaven is a reversal indicator. To inspire Barcelona ultimately to include A. So I dug reversed to include A gives Gaudi, who is, I think, the architect who designed the possibly some famous building in Barcelona. I'm not sure if it's the cathedral or an art gallery, but anyway, I think that's how the clue works. Big rock in castle reeled back, charger not initially, gaining access. Wow, interesting letter pattern, especially with it having an I in the middle. Big rock, I wonder if that's the Koh-i-Noor, a big diamond. So Koh-i-Noor is a big rock. Castle is rook. Rolled back is a reversal indicator. And then charger not initially is rhino without its initial letter. Gaining access to rook reversed. So rhino without R included in rook reversed gives Koh-i-Noor. European river in Piedmont City, almost bordering a kingdom of Italy. No. Now, O in last place. Beat this. Good French Olympian spirit. So I think this is bongo drum. Bongo drum is a drum, hence something that you beat. So beat this is the definition. Good French is bon, because bon is French for good. Olympian is God, because the gods resided on Mount Olympus. So Olympian refers to a resident of Olympus. And then spirit is rum in the alcohol sense. Hash in bowl on floor. No, still not getting that. Unstoppable force in prison, criminal anger, note. Nope. Graduate on cover of exam, book. So, graduate is BA or MA. Cover of exam. I think cover tells you to take the initial letter rather than the outside letters. But not getting that. Concern for international relations, maybe, all kicking off. Yeah, this is firm. So a firm is a concern in the sense of a company. And then all kicking off tells us to take the initial letters of the preceding words. So beginning with for, we can read F, I, R, and M. Now, M, this could be useful. Adhesive with which I stick a vessel up on top of cupboard. I wonder if this is gum arabic. Gum arabic is an adhesive with which I stick. Well, gum is used for sticking. A vessel. Okay, so I think this is gum Arabic, but I think a vessel up is a mug reversed. On top of cupboard, the initial letter of cupboard is C. Okay, so I think the definition is adhesive. We've accounted for a mug, we've accounted for C. What's left is I bar reversed. I stick. Yeah, I is I and stick is bar as in a stick of soap. So I bar a mug all reversed over C gives gum Arabic. Unstoppable force. In prison. Criminal anger note. So criminal looks like an anagram indicator for anger. Note could be the letter N or any of the letters A to G as musical notes. So I think this clue works as an anagram of anger plus a single letter for note inside prison, with the definition being an unstoppable force. And I'm still not getting that. Listener, redundant in the end after I'm introduced to film. Silent movie star ? Well, could this be mime artist? So, listener, ear, redundant in the end tells us to take the last letter of redundant. After I'm, introduced to film, introduced to mist. That gives mime artist, which is a silent movie star. And the question mark tells us that it's not silent movie in the normal sense of pre-talkie movies, but silent because a mime artist doesn't make a noise. Alcoholic drink with guile secreted in pocket. Nope. Open university hit by opponents. I wonder if we need to regard open and university separately. So if the definition is open, then university could be U, hit, and then opponents. These could be opponents in bridge. Okay, not getting that. Credit claimed by priest for amending decree. So credit could be CR. Inside. Yeah, this is prescript. Well, no, it's not. Prescript is too many letters. So, let me remove this and have another think. Credit, CR inside priest. Decree. No, I need a little more assistance with that. Card issuer printed banking instruction firstly, sign alongside it. Nope. Gather, I'm from another planet. No. Award, gold medalist, the first clue. No. Okay, let's look at the downs. European river. In Piedmont City, almost. Bordering A, Kingdom of Italy. So bordering A, I think, suggests it ends A. European could be E, the abbreviation. River. In Piedmont City, almost. Well, it looks like it ends IA. Etruria, perhaps? Could there be an R in third place? European region, 75% in want. Unfortunately, so unfortunately looks like an anagram indicator for region, and then 3/4 of want. So supposing it's the first 3/4, and we're looking for a European, yeah, Norwegian, fantastic. So there is an R here. So is this Etruria? I must be careful not to fail to come back to this, because this looks like a letter pattern which many words might fit. European E, river. Aha, river is the first R. In Piedmont City almost, in Turin almost. And then A is A, that gives Etruria, which is a kingdom of Italy. Imperative in conference, to make a bloomer say. No. Lamenting, being in a muddle, what might set one straight? This is alignment. So being in a muddle is an anagram indicator for lamenting. That gives alignment, which is what might set one straight. Brown belt. This is tan, double definition. Tan means brown as a colour, and as a verb, to tan is to belt. Hash. In bowl on floor, this is dog's breakfast. So dog's breakfast is a slang word for a mess or a hash, and quite literally, a dog's breakfast might be in a bowl on the floor. Now, this must be helpful. Imperative in conference, to make a bloomer say. Wow. Just wondering, the say looks like a homophone indicator, which suggests the definition is at the beginning. But what does imperative mean? Well, an imperative is an instruction, so perhaps kneel could be an imperative, telling somebody to kneel. In conference, no. Given instigation of divorce, could the answer be this? No, not getting that. Oh well, dog's breakfast wasn't as fabulous as I hoped, so let me return to the downs. Party girls embracing OAP, I'm so embarrassed, man. Embarrassed, well, it could be a reference to red, but it could also be an anagram indicator for OAP, I'm so, which is 7 letters. So we need 4 more letters. Party girls. And the whole thing means man. No. Very fast twitch has hurried boy through. So, I think it begins trans. I think the definition is, well, let's put transonic in. I think this is correct. So transonic, I think, means very fast. Twitch is tick, T-I-C, has hurried, ran, boy, son, through the middle of tick. Is this enough for 13 across? Unstoppable force. And we're looking for an anagram of anger. So we're still missing N and E. In prison. So the prison ends T. No, that's a shame, not getting that. Graduate on cover of exam book. This is Emma. Graduate is MA. The cover of exam is its outside letters. So MA on M gives Emma, which is a book, a novel by a Bronte or Jane Austen. Party. Okay, let me come back to that. Surely I know who wrote Emma. I'm going with Jane Austen. Okay, so alcoholic drink, guile, secreted in pocket. No, galleries bill for frames. No, gallant, first person, donning jumper. Yeah, this is Romeo. So Romeo is a gallant in the sense of a generic lover. First person is me, donning jumper, donning roo. A roo is a kangaroo, which is a creature which jumps. Now, are these letters helpful? Well, let me just consider the last down. European doffs cap for John. Yeah, this is Lav. So European is Slav. Doff's cat removes its initial letter. That leaves Lav, which is a John in the sense of a toilet. Award. Well, Victoria Cross is an award. Gold medalist. The first clue. Ooh. Collapsing chair. So, award. Victoria Cross is an award. Gold medal. How does the rest of this work? Gold medalist. The first clue. Well, the first clue is dog's breakfast. Gold medalist could be Victor. The first clue is one across. Wow, it's amazing. That is staring you in the face, and I still struggle to register how the clue works. Okay, got there in the end. Card issuer. Printed banking instruction firstly. Sign alongside it. Wow, no. Okay, so some progress has been made, but let me go back to the acrosses in order. Hard in dark for rescuer at sea. Hard could be H. In dark for rescuer at sea. No. Unstoppable force. In prison. Criminal anger. Note. No. I was thinking the N could go in front of the G, but then you wouldn't really have an anagram of anger. It would most likely just be the word anger. So that would place the N after the R. Unstoppable force. Or the definition could be unstoppable. Force could be F, the abbreviation. No, not getting that. Open. University hit by opponents. Now, I don't think I've considered 21 down, ending in O. Galleries bill for frames. Wow, is this the name of a gallery? Maybe the Prado? Yeah, it is Prado. So Prado is a gallery in Madrid, I think. Bill is ad, as in advertisement, and for is pro. Frames, frames, ad. Great, P may be helpful. Open. University. Hit by opponent. Well, unwrap surely means open. Yeah. So unwrap is open. University is U, the abbreviation. Hit is wrap by opponents by N and W for North and West. They are opponents in bridge. North and South play against West and East. Now, N not massively helpful, but these two clues are now cut off from the rest. Given instigation of divorce, could the answer be this? Wow. Well, I wonder if it's dissolution. So, just reading the whole clue as a definition, dissolution could be the answer to the instigation of divorce. Yeah, and if you're given the instigation of divorce, you're given the initial letter, which is D. So given D, could the answer be this? D is solution. Okay, now U does look useful. How many times have I looked at this clue? Unstoppable force. Juggernaut. Wow, difficult. Common word, but it's just an unusual construction. So prison is jug, slang term for prison. Criminal anger is an anagram of anger. And the note is a musical note, but it's one of the do, re, mi notes, ut, which I think is an alternative to la in the tonic sol fa scale. So that's how that works. Okay, so those were the two isolated clues. Credit claimed by priest for amending decree. I really want it to end script, but what would be left? R-E. I don't think rescript means decree. But let me have a look at 19 down, ending in I. Alcoholic drink with guile secreted in pocket. Wow, what is this? Ending in I. Now, is this librarian? Card issuer could be a librarian. Printed banking instruction. Firstly, sign alongside it. So Libra is a sign of the zodiac. So I think we're on the right track. Card issuer is the definition. Printed bank instruction. Firstly. And we're looking for this to account for Rian, R-I-A-N. Printed. No, but I think it's right. And I notice that an alcoholic drink is martini. I'm going to come back to 24 across. I have not explained it. So martini is an alcoholic drink with guile, with art, secreted in pocket. Mini is pocket, just in the sense of an adjective meaning small. Credit. Wow. I'm not familiar with this word, but I think it fits the wordplay. Credit is CR, the abbreviation. Claimed by priest for amending. For amending is an anagram indicator for priest. That gives rescript, which must mean decree. Gather. I'm from another planet. No. Party girls embracing OAP, I'm so embarrassed. Man. Well, Homo sapiens is man. And it fits the letter pattern. So we've got an anagram of OAP, I'm so in the middle. And if we begin that with the O after H, O-A-P-I-M-S-O, yeah. So it's an anagram of OAP, I'm so, inside hens, and hens are party girls because they are the girls going on a hen party. And that gives Homo sapiens, which is man. Gather. I'm from another planet. Wow, exclamation mark. Yeah, this is meet. So to meet is to gather, and there's an extraterrestrial, well, ET is short for extraterrestrial. So if the extraterrestrial were to say, I'm from another planet, they might alternatively say, me, ET. Okay, so 25 minutes down, closing in on the end. Hard, H. In dark, for rescuer at sea. Wow, the rescuer at sea, a lifeboat, dinghy perhaps? Yes. So, hard is H, in dark, in dingy, that gives dinghy, which is a rescuer at sea, question mark, because it could be used to rescue people. Now, the final clue. Oh, let me pause and do my brief typo squiz. All the acrosses looking good. Down's looking okay. I know there's a clue I need to revisit. Okay, 5 down. Imperative. Great, it's not Neil. In conference. To make a bloomer say. Well, I think this is need. Because I think bloomer refers to a loaf of bread. So, and kneading is something that you do in order to make a bloomer say. So the word play, yeah, imperative means need, N-E-E-D, and in conference is a homophone indicator. So need, N-E-E-D, sounds like the answer, which means to make a bloomer say. So everything's been solved. What was the revisit? Librarian. Okay, it surely can't be anything else other than librarian. Librarians do issue library cards, so card issuer is the definition. Sign alongside it, Libra alongside it, with it being printed banking instruction firstly. Wow, I'm just not getting this. Printed. Sign. Well, I'm just wondering if the sign is Libra. Could it be Arian? Somebody with the sign of Aries? Printed. How are we doing? I'm 28 minutes down. I'm going to spend another 30 seconds or so on this, but I'm not optimistic of getting this. A banking instruction. None of these letters remind me of any acronym for a banking instruction. I wonder if banking instruction firstly refers to B and I, but there's no reversal indicator. Okay, I'm going to have to draw stumps on that, on explaining that clue, but with the exception of 24 across, every clue solved, every clue explained, no empty squares. Submit, submit, hope and pray. No errors. Fantastic. Wow, what a beautiful puzzle. I loved that. Absolutely splendid fun. A real challenge and some delightful clues. If you can explain librarian, please do leave a comment below. I think it would be helpful to anybody watching this puzzle, because that looked like a particularly tricky clue to pass. But absolutely splendid stuff. This isn't my regular Monday solve. This is a Thursday puzzle because I am going out to Accra in Ghana for the World Scrabble Championships representing England, and I will be there at my normal solving time for creating this video, so I'm recording this in advance to fill the usual slot. And the Times puzzles, hardest crossword in the world, but they generally increase in difficulty through the week. So this is a Thursday puzzle. I knew I was expecting a bit of a challenge, and I'm delighted that it proved to be so. So in terms of the snitch, I would say this is probably in the 80s or 90s. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that solve. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.